Uh, hey guys, welcome to like another interview. I'm with Shravan Appou, and Shravan, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name's Shravan Appou, and I'm 15 years old, and I play for Latin Coast Cricket Academy in Latin, Virginia.
All right. So my first question for you is like, how'd you get interested into cricket?
Yeah, so I got interested into cricket. Obviously, um, here I moved to a new community, and within the first few days, I saw my like right now they're my teammates, but I saw some people playing cricket outside, and I was interested. So yeah, I started playing there. But just before that, I was just, spending time with my dad, and he was just like, okay, let's watch this cricket game. And it was, I still remember 2017, it was West Indies versus India. And ever since then, I just feel like cricket's been like a fanatic for me.
And like, what's some like challenges playing here in the U.S.?
Yeah, so obviously, because cricket isn't the most dominant sport here in the US, we still have to manage with the facilities and the training that we have right now. But yeah, I think the level of exposure is will bring all that within the coming time.
So just how's it like playing with these grounds and pitches in the U.S.?
Yeah, so obviously, again, like I said, cricket isn't the most dominant sport in the US, which means that a lot of the grounds that we're playing in now aren't originally cricket grounds. Like a lot of them were originally like soccer grounds or baseball grounds. But yeah, obviously it's getting there. Like here in Maryland, we have a this area, it's called a WCC, and it's like I think like six grounds or something like that. And it's like becoming really big, and obviously it's evolved a lot more. And also just with the competition and a lot more people getting better and people are expanding their interests here. It's just it's a good way to evolve cricket.
Yeah, so going on with like the expansion, like would you see like the improvement in like how many people are playing since when you first started and like how many people now?
Yeah, so when I first started, it was around 2018, 2020, actually, when I started playing for LCCA. Yeah, I think back then LCCA, as in general, it was just starting out. Only a few people were in LCCA actually competing like with as they are now. But yeah, over the coming years or over these past few years, we've seen a lot more people coming into cricket. A lot more of those competitions, like especially with MLC, coming up as a prominent T20 format here in the US. I think the exposure to cricket here is just building, so that just brings more people.
And yeah, and like so how do you like balance school and other activities with cricket?
Yeah, so I balance school just like I feel like a lot of people do it the same way. It's just, you go to practices on the days that you like usually go to. So for me, I go Wednesdays and Sundays, and I work out, watch what I eat. And then obviously school is the same, you go every day except for Saturdays and Sundays. And yeah, just I feel like balancing is just all about time management. You have to have enough time to like your schoolwork, and then after that you practice for cricket or something like that. So it's all just about fitting it all in to the right areas.
And so I know you played in Barbados as we both went and like just how is it like playing in those grounds and pitches?
Yeah, it was a good experience in general. It was first of all team bonding, which was really fun. Players from different academies coming in to play as one against the Barbados teams. That was really fun, and also just the exposure that we got to cricket. Seeing a cricket dominant nation play and just compete against us in ways that we've never seen before. Like over there, we went to the beach. I remember, and we saw people playing cricket there, and it was super fun. And yeah, just again, the exposure was something I've never seen before. Especially with U16 team going to Trinidad, it was just yeah something I've felt different from. It's really nice.
Uh, so yeah, so these next questions are more about like the sport in the US and so like how do you think the sport is growing in the US?
Yeah, so the sports obviously it's still at the very beginning stages in the US with obviously with MLC coming, it's growing very rapidly, and I think that's a good thing for cricket in the US. But still, again, it's the very beginning of cricket in the US. So it's taken England, India, Australia, those nations hundreds of years to take cricket from a school sport to something where it is now. So yeah, I think it's just all about letting the sport marinate into the nation. Just let people get a grip to it. But I think with the way that cricket's going now, I think we'll be there in a matter of time.
Yeah, and so so with the MLC and the World Cup this year, that was a major success for USA Cricket. Like, how do you think those two tournaments will uh increase the popularity between like many cricket fans and also people who don't know cricket as much?
Yeah, again, it's all about exposure here at the beginning stages of cricket in the US. So yeah, obviously you see the Australia pitch got taken from Australia, a very heavy cricketing nation, and it got played into the New York cricket ground. And personally, I've had experience. I went there, and I say it was a very good start to T20. Obviously at the very beginning, a lot of people were criticizing the pitch. Like it wasn't that good, but I personally think it's a very good start. And yeah, as you said, the MLC is a really good way to start. Getting those international players to come build exposure to the cricket game in general. It's a really good way to take cricket.
Yeah, and like along with the World Cup now, since USA made like the Super Eights, beating Pakistan, like a big cricketing nation, like how was just like that experience as just a fan and everything?
Yeah, so obviously as a fan, it's like it's incredible. If you told people like USA cricket fans that we're making it to Super Eights, we're gonna play against India, we're gonna play against West Indies, we're gonna play against Pakistan, we just like we wouldn't believe it. So it's just one of those things where like it's like a phenomenon, um, it's just like beating Pakistan. That was just like one of the big defining moments for USA cricket as a whole. And even just playing, even though we didn't have the best result against India, I think it was just the exposure, with under 19 players coming up, with the international players. Everyone's just, it's a great exposure to the game of cricket. And obviously, if the viewers saw this, we got Kohli off for a pretty low score there, and getting letting the USA cricket just flow through like that, getting the king of cricket out. That's incredible exposure. Now like we know we can tell the nations, the prominent cricket nations, that like, oh, like we're here to play too.
Yeah, and the India USA match was like sort of close too, if you think about it.
Yeah, it was close. We
And
got the good players out too.
yeah, and now with like now since USA qualified the Super Eights, they also qualify for like the 2026 World Cup in India, and like just like how is that like as more like as popularity as a fan and like other stuff too?
Yeah, again, it's the same thing that I said before. It's just here showing other cricket nations at the beginning of our cricket stages. We're here to play, and we're not just some bad team that just got put together. So it's just I feel like again all exposure, and it's also giving like a little bit of motivation for these up and coming cricketers. You and me included. That like if we push ourselves harder or as hard as we can, then we'll be able to go against these cricketing nations.
Yeah, and so it's like tied between like youth cricket and the like USA team. Is like, have you noticed significant growth in both youth cricket and the USA team?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I again, LCC has grown so much. All these other academies have grown so much. Like we're playing in MLC Junior now, which is just like flying out to Houston, Atlanta, and playing against these prominent state teams, and that's huge. Also with DC Hub, we're playing against these genuine states that are good at cricket, and it's like it's just incredible. And same with just like all these facilities and everything. It doesn't really tie in that much, but with more people coming in, these facilities and these people owning these plots are just like, oh, we will actually make money if we put cricket in because people are starting to pick up on the sport now. So yeah.
So like how you mentioned MLC Junior, so like with MLC Junior and AMLCA, like what is just like playing like out of state and with all those grounds?
Yeah, so it's a great way obviously for team bonding. It's a great way for to get to know the other people you're going to play against or play with, as a matter of fact. And it's again more, it's just exposure to more people around the North America region. Get to know their skill sets, get to know how to improve, get to know all these type of things. And I think it's great because getting an opportunity to do all these type of things, they don't come that often. So it's great.
So this next question, so like how is like cricketing culture in the U.S. like differ from other cricket playing nations like India, Australia, and England?
Yeah, so in India, Australia, England, all those uh nations you've talked about, they're all really like more than a sport being cricket is. It's like a lifestyle over there, you know. In India, everywhere you go, you see people finding ways to play cricket, whether that be genuine cricket out in grounds or just playing with like a tennis ball and a stump. You know, there people are just finding ways to play cricket however they can, and that's really great. And even here, if you go to certain areas of the world, I mean, in North America, like let's say New Jersey, that's like a really big area for cricket in the U.S. It's just it's great because you can see cricket up and coming nice and like it's just a nice way to bring cricket and evolve it in this nation.
All right, so that's all the questions I have here for you today. Is there like any final things you want to say?
Yeah, just thank you for having me on the interview. Look
Yeah,
good.
and thank you for joining and answering my questions. And thank you guys for watching this interview, and I'll see you guys next time.